Welcome, everybody, to a brand new interview. I have the director and cast of Levels. So, how are you guys doing today, first off?
Great.
Really well, thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So, how did this film come to each of you separately? Was
Hmm.
it an audition process or were you offered this film?
I was offered the film. I'm a very famous actor. Felt so good. No, I got the script from my agent and I read it. And I was sold right from the beginning. My husband is also an actor and he has worked with Adam before and had nothing but the nicest things to say about him. So I was, on board right from the get-go. Also, it's a different character than I've had the chance to play before. So for me, that was so fun.
Yeah. Similarly, this came through from my agent, and then Adam and I got a chance to sort of meet over Zoom. Went down a real kind of nerd rabbit hole, I guess, and we sort of felt like we were on the same page and dove in.
Yeah. And
It's a
you
real
know, to
pack of
add,
nerds. I would say a pack of nerds.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We are a
Oh.
nerd pack. Yeah, and just to add to that, from my end, Peter and Kara were people that we, just had huge fans of both of them. These were offers. It was not an audition process. It was nothing like that. It was just sort of sending scripts to agents, crossing my fingers and hoping for the best.
With each film, it has its own separate challenges. What was the most challenging scene for each of you as a actor and as a director? What scene was your favorite to shoot and the most challenging for you, Kara, first?
Okay, let me tell you. Do you know what this fucking asshole did to me, Adam Stern? Here's my husband.
Oh, I know where you're going.
About him. Do you know what this guy did to me? I
Oh
had
no.
a morning. I had 27 pages of sides that I had to deliver straight down the barrel of the camera. And I don't think I've ever had that many words to say in a row and you start like, it's like, when you say the same word over and over again and it starts to feel like not a word, when you're just looking straight down the barrel of a camera and talking, I started to feel like a digital creation. I was like, who am I? Am I a person? Am I a person? It was like one of the craziest things I've ever done, but it turned out really well. And I was well supported. Peter came in and read sides opposite me. It was really kind. But it was crazy. It was crazy.
It's funny you say that because likewise, my hardest scene was the flip side of that same sequence. And I had no explaining to do. This is a point in the film where Ash, Kara's character, kind of explains what's going on to me. And we're not in the same room doing it. So Kara very generously came in, read her lines with me there, but I was mostly just listening and looking at a wall that would never keep her face.
I'm so sorry to both of you.
Yeah,
It's all your
really
fault.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's all your fault, Adam. Always,
Yeah.
all the blame is on you.
It
Yeah.
absolutely is. I can't deny that. I remember that day, the 27 pages of sides, and then the staring at the wall. Like they were both probably equally as challenging for me, just from the perspective of how crappy I felt.
No.
Oh, it was great.
But when those 27 pages it was really 27 pages of sides. That's so insane. But it was initially conceived of as voiceover, so I will just give myself that out. But you're like, I'm gonna do this, and that blew my mind. That was amazing.
I got to tell you something. I'll tell you a little story, okay? On my very first day of The Expanse, my first day shooting ever, there was I shot a couple scenes. I had this big chunk of text that in the script it was voiceover, and I got to set and they were like, actually, we're just gonna shoot it. Cool. And I was like, oh my God, give me 3 minutes. Oh my God. And I was freaking out. And I told myself from that point forward, I see voiceover in a script. Never again will I be in that. I will memorize the shit out of that. I will
You're smarter than I am.
never. So I knew it, but oh my God.
Wow.
Luckily, I didn't get fired from The Expanse. They were like, "Oh, she did it," and so I, got to keep working on the show. But whoa, what a time! What a first day that was. Just saying.
Seriously.
So, speaking of shooting, this is only for one guy I've been a fan of for many, many years in Peter Mooney. I mostly know you as a Hallmark guy. How was this a different experience than a Hallmark film? Totally different genre and fan base. How is this different for you as an actor? And how do you think your fans are going to react to this?
Same love story engine, only more realities, more levels. But ultimately, all these things, genre aside, from sort of the perspective of acting, there's some accommodations you make, but mostly you're just trying to find what's true, what is, how are these people connecting with each other in a way that's real and grounded and truthful. So that extends across, sort of any genre.
More swearing, though, right?
More swearing.
Yeah, more swearing in this, and more guns.
More guns, way more guns.
Yeah. Well, my fan base is a Hallmark group. So I was just like, Peter Mooney, let me see. So, what would you say in one word is best going to describe this film in one word?
I can't say levels.
Oh,
No.
you got it.
I'm going to say love, and then people will see why.
Yeah, I would second that.
Passion.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, since I have seen the film, I'm going to say boom.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's good.
I mean, boom, why not? Guns, other things that happen. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but when it comes out on November 1st, everybody needs to go and see it so you can see what I mean by passion, boom, and of course, the most passionate word ever is love. And my final question for this is how did you approach each character? What was the one thing that in your mind said, in each scene, I have to tackle this, this, and this to execute my character in the best way possible?
For me, it was to remember that Ash is smarter than I am, and she is also more physically capable than I am. So I was really just striving for something that was bigger than myself and more sort of bigger than myself. That's what I'll say.
And for me, it was just this idea, just sort of the sentence, Joe is real. Joe is real, to make sure there was never any sort of subconscious, ice cream so yum, ice cream so yum,
I love that.
creeping in there.
And what about for Adam? How did you approach this as a director? And what was the editing like on this film, if you were behind that editing?
Yeah, so I worked with a friend and a fabulous editor by the name of Jamie Alain, who we had a great time editing the film. My approach to it was, and I think love and passion and boom all together are the great words, because it was trying to sort of tell a story that had propulsion from the perspective of the genre and some action and some fun, but at its core being about that love and passion. And so during the editorial process as well, I think we tried to work hard to convey that. It was important to us. And editing it, we edited it remotely over the course of I'm going to say several months. It was probably 10 to 12 weeks or something like that. And then we spent many more months in post-production with the visual effects and sound. We had a great sound team. All sorts of people brought their strengths to this. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to edit the film. I would have loved to do it in the room, but our editor had set up remotely during COVID and things have sort of stayed that way. So we spent a lot of time exactly like this, staring at screens and watching the film together, but I still loved every minute of it. It's probably one of, if not my favorite parts of the process is that sculpting. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for this interview. It's been a great honor to talk to all of you. And everyone who watches this, watch Levels, available November 1st in theaters and VOD. Like and subscribe if you're new. I'll leave a link down below to where you can pre-order the film, and I'll see all of you guys next time.
Awesome. Thanks, Noah.
Thanks, Noah.